Good morning, everyone. The sun is beginning to dawn, and that is our cue. Our ceremony will begin shortly. This is a magical time to find your seats. Make sure you're with your loved ones, some people you know. Perhaps you'll meet some new friends. But this is your cue. 5 minutes until ceremony time. Thank you. Good morning again. Please find your seats. Please find your way to your seats. There are ushers in blue bay aprons if you need some support in finding that row, that chair. We'll be starting momentarily. Thank you. Graduates and guests, please be seated. Good morning and welcome. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and the Board of Trustees, welcome to... Looking out at the crowd today, this is indeed, as we say at Bay, a very special day, and we are so glad to be together here. As many of you know, mindfulness is an essential practice and part of everyday life at Bay, and to honor two incredible individuals connected to the 23s who have passed away, an advisor to the 23s, and Joe Lorenzen, a beautiful member of this class. You'll see students and faculty today wearing feather pins in honor of Joe and his love of nature. There's a brief but poignant poem by Mary Oliver named "We Shake with Joy." We shake with joy, we shake with grief. What a time they have, these two, housed as they are in the same body. Please hold Joe and Tony in your hearts as we lower our gaze and take in the beauty and the sounds of the Presidio with a moment or two of silence together. Thank you. I love that the sun is dawning as our time begins here. Class of 2023, we have been treasuring the moments with you this year. Much of it has perhaps felt like it has been on permanent fast forward as we continue to fit as much as humanly possible of all things high school into the confines of a given month, of a given year. Looking back to your ninth grade, the circumstances were both the same and incredibly different. And since then, it has required stamina and deep, real work on each of your parts with the support of our incredible faculty to create and actually weave together a narrative that was not simply waiting for you, an individual through line, a collective through line for your class through high school. This past fall, you gathered at Camp Jones Gulch for your senior retreat, but your journey to date, right, hadn't been linear. And my gut that night was that you were a class that were still figuring some things out, right? Where are you in this? Who are you in this? And who are some of the folks next to us in this group? And the year began, you dug in, together recreating. I want to name on behalf of all the faculty that your journey and your trials and your tribulations, they made a real impact for Bay as we redefined and continue to, what does it mean to be in community together in this day? One of the many ways you've shared of yourselves with us is through morning meeting presentations. For our guest of mindfulness, and then we'll head to the always intriguing and unexpected announcement portion. And I gotta say, class of 2023, your morning meetings were awesome. I feel like they represented sort of a compendium of like how to live one's life well, and we've taken a lot from them. Some of the topics included kindness, concentrated. What does it really look like? Original music and songs. We've learned about the joys of cooking and food, including the love of butter. Creating an atmosphere of care and connection in a community. The ways in which apparently Nietzsche and Camus can fit into virtually any. All things Harry Styles, because why not? And a life shared through song and playlist. You have been a senior. How much have those 9th, 10th, and 11th graders really picked up on all the cues you've left through the school day and your activities? I can assure you that they have heard more and felt more than you might think. They didn't catch every action or word, and of course it takes time to internalize what we learn. But I can guarantee you that the ways you have showed up, the ways you have shared so vulnerably at morning meeting, at yesterday's talent show, in so many other parts of Bay life, classrooms and on the field, in clubs, and simply listening and being there for other kids and being there for students younger than you, that has had a profound impact. And faculty and students have heard you. There is no one singular moment, no morning meeting or action, now or in the future, singular action that you need to take to change the world, or that will be solely responsible for sustaining what we care about community. And rather, it's the collective, right? It's all these pieces that the power and impact's going to come over time with a collection of many small, beautiful, some not so beautiful moments that you have helped to create. And your voices have landed loud and clear with us. You have helped to set the stage with your energy and your voice for the next generation of Bay students to step into leadership. You've all been a part of the effort in ways that you've seen and likely in ways that you haven't noticed. And the great part is you're just going to keep doing that because that's what you do in your next year and beyond. As I shared yesterday from Oh, the Places You'll Go, there will be things down the road between hither and yon that might scare you so much you won't want to go on. And yet I can guarantee you, you don't fully know the strength within you and the knowledge of self that you've developed that is going to serve you so well. Boris Katome, a Bay graduate from the class of 2019 and an alum who worked at Bay this spring, shared a profound statement that has always stuck with me. He believed that Bay initially would become his home during high school, but instead what Bay taught him is that he is his own oasis and that home would be wherever his whole self was, and his village was right there with him. To our graduates, this wonderful collection of people, you take with you a far better sense of self than when you arrived 4 years ago. You take with you an incredible well of strength and courage, even when you don't remember that it's there. And you bring constance and insights into what ground you. Your individual and collective potential is deeply unlimited. And whatever comes next, your village is going to be there right there with you. We're proud of you. I have to say I'm a bit emotional this morning. Just really good to be here together. One of the constants in my life is I get to work with incredible people and incredible students. And there's a fabulous group of educators and faculty at Bay. We laugh, we build, we create, sometimes we cry. It's a pleasure to introduce an individual who cares so deeply for this class and for Bay, our Dean of Students, Mio Burke.
You guys look so good. I've never sat on this side of the stage before, and it's pretty incredible. There's no going back. I'm just saying. Good morning. So I have the privilege of introducing our student speaker. Yes. And I just want to give a little bit of history. And so at the Bay School, we do not have a valedictorian or a salutatorian, a common graduation honor traditionally determined by GPA. Instead, the faculty chooses the student they feel most embodies the qualities of a Bay graduate and has been on a growth journey to become that person. So as you might imagine, this is a very difficult decision to make, as many of our seniors fit this description. And it is my honor and great pleasure to introduce the chosen graduation speaker for the class of 2023. She'll come. Before I ask her up here, I'm going to give a little introduction. If you don't know, the fabulous Ella. Ella has generously given to Bay without ever compromising who she is or her values. Ella is balanced, poised, and maintains a strong sense of self among a competitive set of peers in a predominantly white institution. Rising above some hardships along the way, Ella has taken advantage of every opportunity offered and found her voice in the process. In addition to her academic success across our curriculum, Ella has contributed wholeheartedly to our community life, from her leadership in Black Student Union, sharing her athletic prowess on our tennis and soccer teams, starring in theater productions, and serving as an admissions ambassador. There is not a corner of Bay Ella has not influenced. Ella is described as a curious and dedicated student, a kind and loyal friend, a thoughtful and connected community member, and a leader who leads by example. Ella is truly the best of Bay. Ella, will you join me on the stage?
All right. Okay. Good morning, students. To be given the opportunity to be the graduation speaker for the Bay School's class of 2023. Before I continue, I want to say a few words about our classmate, Joe. Although I didn't know him well, every interaction I had with him was both kind and memorable. Most people knew him as the quiet nature guy who loves going on walks in the Presidio and collecting feathers, but he was so much more than that. It is safe to say that we all wish he was here celebrating with us, but we know he is looking down at us from above, cheering us on. Joe, we will always remember the impact you made on everyone who was lucky enough to know you, and we love and miss you dearly. It goes without saying that having trusted friends and allies by your side is probably one of, if not career. I know the value and importance of finding your people. When I first came to Bay, I would describe myself as a sort of shy, loud, anxious, but enthusiastic ninth grader. Bay sophomores I knew from middle school described Bay as a loving and friendly environment, and although I did get that vibe from my tour, it was the best welcome crew I could ask for. For those of you who don't know, Jumpstart is a cohort of incoming ninth graders and transfer students who may be new to independent schools, the only one from their middle school, or from an underrepresented community. We learned how to navigate, especially Moya, Nuri, and Franklin. And they eventually became my People of Color crew. We've had some great laughs and also some less fun and rather disappointing moments as people of color at Bay. But regardless of the setbacks, I always had them by my side. The best memories with them by far have to be our office hopping abilities. One of my favorite things about Bay is how easy it is for all the faculty to build strong relationships with students, and my crew really embodies that. While we found temporary refuge in the admissions team during our freshman year, shout out Rebecca, Michael, Alex, and Brooke, we spent our sophomore year online. Once school was back in person, we found our new home in Rachel Shaw's office. It's become a fairly popular hangout spot over these past few months, but the four of us know we were the OG Rachel crew. In all honesty, it still amazes me how I've become so close to a middle-aged white librarian, especially since I don't like reading. Now for you. This ensures that whenever you feel misheard or misinterpreted by any member of the Bay community, there is always someone by your side who is ready to listen and take authority as the adult in the situation. Friends are always important, but having a trusted faculty member who can advocate on your behalf is the best way to speak when you feel silenced. Besides my crew, it's really crazy to me how many different friends I've made across all 4 grades with a range of interests. Since freshman year, I've been able to continue activities and try so many new things like tennis, soccer, joining clubs, and my favorite community, theater. Most schools have a theater program, but what I've learned is that other programs are filled with students purely participating for the credit. At Bay, everyone in theater wants to be there. My favorite parts about theater at Bay are how student-run the performances are and the level of commitment everyone brings. At Bay, we value dedication over skill, and I encourage you all to take advantage of that. If there is ever a new sport or club you want to join, now is the time. You might even walk away with a new favorite extracurricular like I did. In addition to the extracurriculars, I recently found another small but just as chaotic family at BSU. Affinity spaces have been a really important part of my Bay experience because it is Black Student Union quickly became a safe haven for me, where I'm surrounded by people who share similar experiences. Whether it was a serious meeting about microaggressions and Black stereotypes we see daily at school, or a fun meeting where I somehow managed to be on the floor crying laughing, there was always a supportive atmosphere of Black students and faculty members who were eager to listen and participate. I don't think they really know how much of an escape BSU was for me. To put this into perspective, these students and teachers wholeheartedly inspired my year-long senior signature project, where I wrote a book called The Black Guide to Surviving at a PWI. To quickly summarize, it is a how-to book where I gave suggestions on how to navigate challenging terms such as double consciousness and internalized racism. This project was inspired by and created for the current and future members of BSU. And I really hope that this guide is a part of Bay's continued efforts to improve the experience of BIPOC and other marginalized groups at Bay. I could go on and on about the community at Bay, but I do need, it's actually an immersive called Hip Hop, Culture, Politics, and Production, taught by Mr. Jackson and Unlearn. I learned so much more outside of my comfort zone and indulged myself in a hobby I never expected to love. Part of the uncomfortableness was putting my all into the class, but the real risk was signing up in the first place. Let this be your sign to take that class you've always wanted to try. Class. The fact that I even just said that sentence out loud is amazing to me because what other school has a class dedicated to the evolution and art of spying? This elective really made me understand the beauty in course selection, and I hope this inspires all of you current students to take advantage of the fun classes offered here. You may feel like there is a certain path already made for you, but you would be surprised at how much you'll grow at Bay, taught by one of my favorite teachers, Hayden's Bio 2 class. I knew immediately after taking Bio 1 in junior year that I would really enjoy Bio 2, and to no one's surprise, I had a blast. Hayden has a special ability to balance graduate school while being one of the most patient teachers ever, and she has so much passion for science and grace towards the students that you can't help but enjoy her classes. Because of her open mind and can-do attitude, I have been able to learn so much more about what aspects of science I want to pursue. Ever since I was 4, I've known I wanted to be a veterinarian. But as I got older, I learned about the versatility within the profession. There are countless vet specialists specializing in different species, body parts, and even medical equipment. But with the help of Bio 2, I now know that I want to be a theriogenologist. It sounds really complicated, but how I like to describe it is that it's like an OBGYN for animals. In the last few weeks, I spent hours researching animal reproduction, a topic I've been interested in, but never ever expected to study in high school. Less than 2 weeks ago, I kid you not, Hayden let me order a pregnant pig uterus that I dissected, and I found 15 piglets. I was so happy that day that I couldn't stop smiling, and I skipped from school to the parking lot. I'm still smiling now because I know that this is just the start of my veterinary journey, and this fall I will be attending Ohio Wesleyan University and majoring in pre-professional zoology. I couldn't be happier about where I'm going, and thank you, Hayden, and all the other teachers who have taught me something I didn't know about myself. As I'm sure you can tell by now, Bay has been a great experience for me. It hasn't been perfect, but it's been a place where I can grow and learn how to be myself, and that I'm capable of accomplishing things I never thought I would be able to. A place where there's power and reflection and strength and vulnerability. A place where I eventually learned to be comfortable in my own skin. I know that not every student has had the same Bay experience as me, but I hope that all of you can find the beauty in our school. Whether it's the fact that we're in this beautiful national park, or maybe it's the community you found, I hope that by your senior year, you can call Bay home. That doesn't mean Bay is perfect or that you should ignore all the hardships here. It just means that you have a community you can lean on. I will miss Bay so much, and that this is the next step for my dreams. I want to give a special shout out to my parents because they're the only people who have and will continue to show me unconditional love. Thank you for all the sacrifices you have made for me, and I need you to know they don't go unnoticed. I love both of you forever and always. Bay has taught me the advice I will most carry with me is to take advantage of the opportunities we are given. When I was a shy 9th grader, I hated asking for help and using new resources, all the opportunities that have come my way, because I am capable, resilient, and have the best army of friends and family behind me. To my rising sophomores, juniors, and seniors, I want you to acknowledge your opportunities and utilize your resources. Now, for all my seniors, you're probably scared just like me, but that's okay. What matters is that you feel excited about the next stage of your life, whatever that may be. And I am so proud of us and what we have accomplished so far. And I can't wait to change the world with all of you. Remember, always stand up for yourself and lean into the uncomfortable, because chances are countless opportunities will come your way if you just put yourself out there. And as we close this chapter, let's celebrate. Congrats, class of 2023. We did it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. You inspire us. Let's give another round of applause. That was awesome. Commencement. And today we welcome a wonderful teacher from the science department. This individual has been many things for this class, from teacher and supporter to someone who's simply always ready to chat. Seniors spoke to his genuine dares are in the great room. I'm thrilled to introduce Richard Alt.
Give me a moment here, thank you. All right. Bottom of my heart. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Richard Alt. I'm a science teacher here at Bay. Hello to my fellow faculty. I thank you for your guidance and your support. I appreciate you. Welcome to the families, but most especially, welcome to the graduates of 23. We are here today to honor you, and I would like to send you off with just a little bit of what I've learned in this lifetime. No, not all of it, just a few little bits that I think will be important for you, you who are opening this totally amazing chapter in your lives. This journey over the course of the last 4 years has had all kinds of twists and turns, just as all your future journeys will. My own path to this moment, this place, this day has been full of pivots that I could have never predicted. But now when I look back, I see that there are some core values that I needed to discover to bring me into community here with you. It's not like one of these rises so much above the others. It's more like they are all interwoven, just like what ecology has taught me. Everything is connected. They all work and feed off of each other to bring me a sense of joy and peace. To help you understand what I mean, let's go back to when I was a young person. I remember a teacher, Dr. George Moore. It was a difficult time in my life. I was struggling at school and I was feeling aimless. My family was falling apart and I was angry and I was sad. I didn't see why I needed to be in school. Something about Dr. Moore, though, he was kind and patient. He listened to me. He didn't listen to me to respond. He listened to me to understand. And he could see that I didn't seem to have much agency. I wasn't working for myself. Dr. Moore helped me to find my agency. He taught me how to listen, to understand. I think about this all the time in my time. I think about this all the time during my days here at Bay. This was instructive. Know that you may be young, new to this life, but know that you have agency. Stay curious and listen to understand. Another thing I've found to be vital in this life is to have a sense of purpose, a sense that I'm doing the right thing, or at least I'm moving in the right direction. I've shared stories with many of you about this time in my life, but what I haven't told you is the why. Honestly, I didn't know at the time, at least not with a lot of clarity, why I made this choice. But I knew the work my colleagues were doing was important. I was in a community of people who shared many of the same values I had. I had a strong sense that the work I was doing with them had purpose, and doing that work gave me a lot of joy. I was filled with wonder about how the world worked, and I was listening to my heart. I'm reminded when you all come to me with an idea, finding your purpose in those moments. It's important to be intentional about where you're going and trust your instincts. When I came home from my but I heard that, and I found myself working in tech. The jobs were new and interesting, and I threw myself into it with the same intention. And maybe they did, and maybe I did in some small way, in the varied roles that I played. But in that whirlwind of changes, we don't always make the right decisions and choices for ourselves. Life is not linear. Things change, people change. I changed. At the start, I felt purpose. As I was unhappy, I had felt hollowed out. I had to start again. Listen to your heart. Trust your instincts and your intuition. And have a community of people you trust nearby. This is what carried me. I wanted to be joyful again. I wanted to feel that sense of purpose. Fear can be paralyzed. I know all of you have had big challenges. And many of you have leaned into those challenges, and if you have come out the other side wiser and happier for doing so. So I was probably growing. Regardless, I pushed forward, and I was given a chance to become a teacher, to share the knowledge I've collected through the years with the people who are going to change the world. Here, for 2 years, for 10 years? No, but I knew it was right for me. I knew it was right for me then, and I know it. You are a big part of my purpose moments. If you had asked me when I was in high school to predict any of it or purposes, follow those little nudges that life gives you. Look for ways you too can continue to build community with others. Seek out and give love. And service are my guiding principles. What will yours be? To how you feel, especially when you do for others. In my classrooms, I've seen a lot of joy, whether it's question of the day or watching a film being in service to others, and so much fun, like making creme brulee for 20 people. Right now, take a moment. Curiosity, you have all grown tremendously over these past 4 years. Do it with a sense of purpose. And I hope by now you know that congratulations.
Now is the time. I want to take a moment to acknowledge that this role is normally played by Lisa Shelton. For those of you that know Lisa, know that she's such a Jane Baker. Samuel Berenbaum. Ari Glass Berkowitz. Nevi Valerie Elizabeth Blumenthal. Malcolm Bowman Bunting. Alexander Von Burnett. Chloe Parker Butler. Nuri Noemi Calderon Reyes. Claire Gwyneth Yoyuen Chow. Sophie Lee Alice Clausen. Eleanor Elizabeth Dixon. Sophia Victoria Edwards. Lily Eiting Epstein. Emmanuel Uchina Ezrim. Sasha Laura Feldman. Dylan Amelia Gibson. Emily Kim. Anushka Kirsch. Ready? Victor Anatole Kozel. Ella Lene Lazar. Jet Bernard Lee. Owen James Lefkowitz. Ann Lecker Wallace. Margaret Evelyn Liu. Madeline Liu. Viviana Linné.
Noah Lowinger. Louis. Isadora Grace Mamikunian. Margaretin. Nur Masehian. Franklin Masariegos. Middleton. Motor. Phineas Walter Motor. Nathan Danilo Navarro. Kelsey Ann Autrich. Gregory Piccinini. Stella Beatrice Pitts. David Pernell. Zachary Nicholas Randall. Alice Rogers. Nathaniel Alexander Schreibman. Hayes Robert Sherman. Kate Xiao. Avery Elizabeth Turva. Kara Tia Kayak Tus. Phoebe Riegelman Trask. Henry Whalen. Hudson Beck Webster. Joseph Pablo Weil. Miranda Rose Geller Wester. Austin McGregor White. Ben Williams. Ben Williams. Luke Yuan. Let you have officially
Today's celebration was created by a village of Stafford. No doubt they brought the sun. As we begin to close, a reminder that the reception for graduates' family to wish our graduates well, and it's my honor to share this blessing with you. All that will be in the bright future for the class of 2023. We give thanks to great room. The gingerbread house has gone awry. We grow from this class's myriad voices full of wisdom and angst and heart. We offer the dreams that sustained you and the destiny that summons you to become, each and every one of you, a unique gift to the human family. For the gifts that grace this day, for the together. Audience members, please rise to honor this exceptional group and remain in your seats or standing, thank you, until the graduate.